Morning. Hello. We are off grid today. We are off grid. Um, Not intentionally so. It is a pretty chilly Monday morning here in Idaho. Welcome to my channel. I am Dory Jo Stoll with Prairie Scraps, and I'm excited to be here, albeit a little chilly and off grid. So sorry if it's a little bit on the dark side. Open up here a little bit, get some natural light in, see if that helps me out a little bit. I don't know, you tell me. So over the weekend, my husband, well, not this weekend, but a couple weekends ago, my husband like rewired some things. Actually, he had the wiring in when he had done the wall in the garage area of our house, and while he was doing all the renovations on putting my piano room in. And anyway, he had pre-thought out that we were going to put a light by the door over there as well as an outlet. So anyway, he got the outlet up and going, and suddenly he did notice this weekend that the light, because the light comes on, it's an automatic come on when in the dark. It's got a sensor on it, and it didn't come on over the weekend. And he's like, I wonder why that light isn't on. And then never followed it through. And lo and behold, it is all the electricity there, because he had moved my camper power to that new outlet, so it wasn't going across the doorway to get to the power outlet on the other side of the main door to walk in. So needless to say, I am without power today. It's a little chilly, and my little heater has not been running all weekend, I guess. So things are chilly. But I'm out of the wind. It would actually be a beautiful fall day if the wind was not blowing so hard. And the wind from our town is coming off the mountain, which got snow overnight. So it's sort of like this high-powered wind coming right off the snow right to town. So it's biting. We went for our walk this morning. My daughter and I did our little walk. I went for hot coffee, which if you know me, you know I never do that. So welcome. I hope you'll come on in while we are chatting today. I am going to make an heirloom Advent / 12 Days of Christmas hanger, and I'm excited about this. I was very excited about it when it came out. And I don't know, I've just had all kinds of things, all the fall things. So this is the 12 days. Actually, there's a bundle. You can buy both of these items. The 12 days transfer, it says 12 Days of Christmas at the top. It's called 12 Days. And then there is this pocket hanger. And this I didn't have huge high hopes for, but it is a very nice thick canvas hanger. It's got a really nice rope on it. And it's got the 12 pockets on it and space to put your 12 Days of Christmas here at the top. So I am like a 2 thumbs up for quality on this. In fact, I plan on doing ink. You could do chalk or ink, whichever you like. I'm doing ink so that is going to be here forever if we wanted to take it apart and wash it, which it's a decoration. You don't take away, you do a light dusting, but you don't usually use water. But needless to say, we're going to do ink on it. So that is our project today, and I'm excited about it. So, and I do know from watching other designers work on this that it's good to be paying attention to. So wish me luck on that, because, I get easily distracted, especially when I'm online or, going live. So this top portion is for the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's not a very hefty situation. I think you could use this. This would be so much fun. Like you could make little stuffies for each day and like actually make them ornaments and put them in the pockets, and it'd be fun for the kids to take out. So, these are great mom projects, or, all of our transfers are reusable, so you can use it over and over and over again. So that's kind of the fun thing about it. But I am going to find a mat here so that I can put it underneath. I don't think it will go all the way through, but you never know. And it is fabric. So our ink is made so that it can be permanent, totally permanent, and on fabric and glass. So you just have to heat press it. So glass, you would need to put in the oven at 350. Actually, put it in the oven first before you start the oven. Set the timer, or set the oven to 350, I think 350. And then set the timer for 30 minutes. As soon as it dings, then you can just turn off the heat, let it sit overnight in your oven, and it's good to go the next day. So that is how you heat set glass. Same ink product goes on both fabric and on glass, which is, or ceramics, glass, whatever you want to put it on. So that's kind of fun. I also think these would make just plain, if you wanted to do ornaments, I think they would be super cute for ornaments. You could do an ornament set of 12, and it would be fun for the kids to just have a nice little tree on the table, put up their ornaments. You could have the pocket thing. This, you don't have to only buy this in a bundle, but it's good the first time to buy the bundle because then you get both parts. The bundle in Chalk World does not mean that it is the full project. It doesn't mean there's any chalks or inks with it. You'll have to add in the chalks and inks. So I have my link down below for you if you are interested in that. And I'm just going to kind of get this top portion here off the transfer. Now, if I was using this on, oh, and this fits exactly on our 12 by 18 boards, any of our boards that are 12 by 18. So we do have, like, it's very gorgeous that way too. And you know me, I love the monotone color. So I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking about doing like just a little bit of gold and red on this, but I haven't decided. So help me decide. What would you do? What would you do? Would you do multicolors, or would you do like one or two? How many colors would you put on? Put a number. And while you're at it, make sure that you subscribe and like my channel. Just want to make sure I'm not over that. So what I did was I just took that backing and sort of shifted it down. And then I also found the center part of the 12 Days of Christmas. So I can just put it on here in the center. I saw one that I really liked that was red and gold, which I kind of like, but I'm actually thinking about, I wonder if I could, I'm thinking about two possibilities, red and black, red and gold, or even in the back of my mind, I'm thinking red and, so maybe three. I'm lying today. I'm full of it today. Full of all kinds of options, right? Red and gold. I don't know. Stay tuned. See what I do. So here's the gold. And our gold has a shimmer in it. Whew, the inks are cold. Need to warm them up a little bit. I don't know. Put my coffee on it or something. The espresso was the other color I was considering. So I don't want to do bright red, which we recently had Jolene come out, although I really think Forest Shimmer would be very beautiful. That would also be very beautiful. If you saw my launch video before, or all the, Chronicles videos, I was sticking kind of to, like black, gray, whites, vanilla for my color scheme for Christmas with a pop of red. But I did learn over the weekend that the Jolene is just a little too bright. It looks like it's a burgundy. This is the color of the month. I think it's still available. So if you place an order, you can purchase that as well. But it's an exclusive, and it's while supplies last. But the color I'm thinking about using, that's not it. That is Current Jam. I think it's called Love Struck. It was another color of the month. It had a lot of reds. Jolene is too bright, I'm telling you. Here's that espresso. I was so glad they came out with that. So that's another contender. So black, gold, or espresso. Those are my thought. That's my thought process today. If you were wondering what my thought, oh no. I know I have another one of these Love Strucks in the house, so I could do this as far as, see, Love Struck, here's the Jolene, and then there's Love Struck, and you could just kind of see, it's more of a pinky purple that Jolene is. So I think that's going to be my color. And so I'm pondering in my head what I'm going to do. So I don't know. And if I open this, I know I have more Love Struck ink in the house. Like I said, I'm leaning more towards, I really like that combination look. Isn't that beautiful? The espresso. Love that combination. So make sure you say hi. Give me a little thumbs up if you are able to. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm out. So this might not be a full project if I start this with this. We shall see. I don't want to do the majority of it in gold at all if I do gold. The gold is very pretty too, but I'm not sure it shows up as well. I think I might go with the red. We're going to do Love Struck as far as we can. That's going to be the thing. All right, so if we were doing this on wood or if we were doing this on, you know, glass or something, we would go ahead and fuzz the transfer the first time we use it. But since I'm using fabric, I tell you what, a lot of times when I'm making plans for my transfers, if I know I'm going to end up making a t-shirt or a fabric or a tea towel or something like that, I will forego. I'm like thinking about this. Think this through, Dory. Think it through. I'm thinking that it would be better not to like sneak it, you know, get it all over the place by taping off the bottom portion of this, just so I don't go over. You know, better to be careful. Better to be cautious, right? All right, get that down here. I probably should have done across the top too, because this does go right out to the edge. All right, I do think that this part of it is not, it doesn't fill it up well. So, but I think you could either do like a bow. I know what it is. You know, we're trying to have it so that you don't have to buy a bigger transfer, right? To do this project, because that adds more cost. This makes it more affordable. Speaking of affordable, I don't know about you guys, but I like a good deal. And this bundle is 25% off right now. So go get it. If you're even remotely thinking about doing this project, this is a fun project. This would be, you don't even have to be really super fancy about what you put in the pockets. I know we have a countdown that we have used for years and years, and it's just got like a little snowflake attached to a twine, and we use the snowflake to go in each of the pockets as we're counting down the year. So you don't even have to fill the pockets, although this has nice big pockets on it for filling. So, and it could be as simple as put a piece of candy in there or put some fruit snacks in there for your kids, whatever you want to do. Or I think this would be a wonderful gift to give to a family, like surprise them 12 days before Christmas. Cause you know, sometimes it's hard to like remember to stop and do the thing, you know, like enjoy the season. I think it's really hard for, especially families when you've got school-age children. So you could like drop this off on somebody's doorstep as a surprise. And each day they get a little gift inside of it, or even a Bible verse. I think that would be an amazing way to go, is a Bible verse. So you guys know that when you use dark colored ink, it's going, you know, it's permanent. So if this goobers outside of the lines, we are stuck. We are stuck. I'm definitely getting this all over the fingers, so be very careful because you don't want to goober outside the lines or put a fingerprint where you don't want a fingerprint. Ask me how I know, right? Ask me how I know. So Monday morning, I feel like I sound a little bit stuffy. I don't know. I had a rough night. I could not sleep last night. Um, I must have thought last week, probably half a dozen times, I need to go refill my blood pressure medication at the pharmacy. And then, do you guys do this? I am terrible at refilling. I always like forget, and then I'm stuck over the weekend without any blood pressure, which is terrible. You shouldn't go off your blood pressure medication, but anyway, and then I had to go back on a different one too this last time I visited the doctor. So anyway, I had the new one and she doubled it over the weekend. So I doubled that thinking, okay, I'll be okay. Needless to say, it's not making me feel super wonderful. that medication, the new one. All right, I'm trying to get the 12 days part of down, and I don't want to get that all over either. So I think I'm done with the red part. However, I'm going to tape off this part. I always keep these little scraps of tape everywhere that I use because they stick forever. You don't like, I don't use them that much. So I just kind of stick them up everywhere. Once they're dry, they're dry. They're not going to be a problem. Oops, don't get red. All right. Now here is the decision. Black, gold. Sorry if you can't see. Let me put you down a little so you can see. There we go. Black, gold, or brown espresso should I use with this? I'm going to put the lid on so it doesn't dry up. Let's see how far this little bits in the bottom of the pan here go. I do, like I said, I need to get rid of this because I'm reissuing red ink. So anyway, this would be a fun, our family oftentimes will do a 12 days of Christmas like gift basket for people that we know are like either elderly or shut in or something like that. And we'll do 12 little gifts, and most of them are like Dollar Tree. We try to just be very economical about it, and we always try to pick somebody in our lives to surprise them. Should I do brown or gold? Should I do the gold? I should just do gold. I don't know. I'm indecisive today. Do you guys ever have that problem, indecisiveness, when you're crafting? Ooh, that was crazy. It sort of was like opening a present. It had little squiggles coming out. Woo, that was close. I thought it was like spilling. It almost did, in fact. This feels really, really stiff. Okay, we're going to get this 12 days of. The 12 days of. I'm going to do the gold. It's got a little shimmer in it, so it just makes it a little bit more Christmassy. Who doesn't love a shimmer, right? One way to get glitter on things is to like not use, without having to use glitter, is to use our shimmer pastes and inks, because it's in the paste and ink. You don't have to have like a jar of glitter out, which is really great. And in ink, it's kind of unique, right? Like you don't hardly ever see like a shimmer on your clothing. Okay, I'm going to try to close this up. Well, you know, that didn't work out so great because I stuck my thumb right into the lid. Got it all over my thumb. It's not crafting if you're not making a mess. That's for sure. Okay, here we go. Get the gold off. Check the rest of my fingers. Always check your fingers before you peel to reveal, because you just never know. You might grab on the edge of it and find that. You very carefully take these off. You don't want to rip your transfer with the tape, so I'm going to be careful about that. Take that off, because I'm going to use this part. So pay attention to the numbers you're doing. That is the one thing you do want to do, because each one is numbered and you don't want to put the wrong number on the wrong pocket. And I actually, somebody on our design studio on Facebook said, you know, it was a happy accident. Everything is fixable, but she was going on live doing this thing and she did it in the wrong order. And so, but she had a really clever idea. She went ahead and used some fabric. Okay, sorry, you can't see this, but it looks pretty good. There's a little smearage on my S. There. What do you think? Add a Q&A. Huh. Pulp in my juice? No. Anyway, it says to add something. I'm just not about it. All right, I'm going to set this aside. This has got some ink on it, so I want to be very careful with that and not put it on something like my clothes. This is permanent, right? So you want to be cautious about where it definitely got ink all over that tape on the top. I think that turned out pretty good. I'm going to take this off and put it back on the backing. And I think people are like cutting this up so that they can do each pocket. But I don't like to cut up and have all kinds of small projects because I do like the space to, but I might have to. It's kind of messy having red up here. This might have to be a multi-day. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to set that aside for a hot minute. I've definitely got ink on my fingers, so we're going to take that off. I will hold this up. Ooh, I could see where the Y on the days did not get printed at all. In fact, the Y I had almost run into, oops. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? Look at the detail. So you can hardly tell, but there is a little tiny bit of overrun, like it just sort of smeared on the S. But I think, unless you compare this S with this S, I'll let you see. It just sort of filled in between there's like little lines on it. That is probably the one risk that you run when you use ink. So we're just going to take this ink mat. That did not go through hardly at all. It did go through, however, a little bit. Can you see that? Just a little bit. So it wouldn't have like stained anything, but you just never know. All right. So now we're going to work one by one. And probably is better to do it from the top anyway. So this is not a bad thing. I think this would be a fun in-person class if you had a bunch of people who've done at least one or two projects before. All right. And I do think I want to get that Y printed. So I'm going to take this off again. I know I'm kind of shifting around quite a bit here, but I just need the Y. I don't need the rest. I like to use the backing sometimes when I'm painting, when I'm doing the transfers, because it sort of, let's see if we can get, I thought I had a little bit on there, but I don't. I like to use it kind of as a mask because it helps not to smear it all over the place. Let's see if we can, looks to me like it's pretty. See if I can get the rest of the Y there. Somehow we didn't get the Y. Put this away. Get the ink off my fingers. I'm just going to lift. That looks better. Yay. That looks so much better. Okay. Oh, but look at this. This is the other thing. When you are using it, like because I laid it on there, it did get some red on there. So I'm going to set this down actually. And yeah, if you are worried about getting it all over, like I almost just did, it's a good idea maybe to cut it apart. Cut the transfer apart, and that's fine. So now I don't really, let's see. I need to get the ink off the back. What happened was I picked up that Christmas part that it's already on here when I put that backing over the top of it. So it like picked up the red ink there on me. All right, now I've made a mess of myself, but I got it off the backing so that if I lay the backing down again, I won't get it. I am going to actually dry this a little. Oh, I can't. I don't have any electricity, you guys. It's all a challenge today. All a challenge. Sometimes that's just how life is, right? Life is truly a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? Okay, let's see if we can get this on here. I think I'm going to have to figure out the center of this. I do wish there was some markings. But if you did, you don't want the markings on there, because if you did this in a whole picture, you wouldn't want it to cut apart. You would want it all in one picture. But I do want to find out where the center point is of this. All the way across. So I'm just lining up. There's like kind of a banner at the bottom that says partridge in a pear tree. And then turtle dove's French horn. And, you know, that's in the banner. It says what the verse is when you do. Oh, goodness, you guys. This is messy. This might be a multi-parter. A multi-parter. Just because we want it to dry between. You want it to turn out nice. So I am here today to help you through any of your questionings. I think it's a fun project, though. I think it's, you know, lots of fun to do this. I am wiping this down so that I can get the red ink off of here. In the meantime, hopefully that banner is sort of drying up. I think what we're going to do is tape all the way across the bottom of the pocket so we have a guide where we want to do it. I just need to decide a way to make it consistent on every single one. So I sort of took the majority off here. It's not absolutely, you know, perfect, but I did take most of it off the top at least. So this is going to be a multi-staged event here. Sorry. This is what you get. I do not, you know, do a lot of, like, if you see my shorts and things, those are edited. But when I do the actual projects, for the most part, I will sit and do it in front of you so that you get a chance to see how the process goes. I'm always curious, how does the process go myself when other people do projects? So this is the way you get to see them. I am who I am. There's no faux-ness about me. Everything is live and real, and things don't always go perfectly. Like today, we are without electricity in here. So, but it's okay. It's okay. Crafting is a little bit of, you know, that's part of the adventure of it, right? Crafting is a fun adventure. Sometimes it works out, sometimes better than others. Okay, so now I'm turning it over. I'm going to actually wipe off because I'm worried about the red. Red has got red and orange and black. They've got more pigments in it. And so I don't want it transferring onto my project. So I'm just taking as much of it off as I can without having to sink. If I was indoors, I would just go ahead and run it under the sink. Thankfully, I do not have water going in my little camper here because it would have frozen last night with no electricity. I do have a little heater in here that kind of just goes on a low, like 62, 63 all night long, just to keep off all the, make sure I didn't do an overspray here. Oops. And don't stick sticky sides together. That's dangerous. Definitely picking up everything. Every little bit of red here is being picked up. It's terrible. I might have to wash this between every single one. I don't know. All right. Get anything over here off. Get it off my fingers. All right. So lots of ideas for this little 12 days of Christmas. Hopefully, I could still see it's pretty wet. It's kind of chilly in here, so it's probably hard for it to dry. My coffee is even getting chilly today. Hope you all had a great weekend. So I'm trying to decide this from top to bottom. So we want to go, so top to bottom, this is 4 inches. And top to bottom, the pockets are a little better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to do about a 1/2 inch at the bottom. That's my estimation. These are all estimates. If you want to measure everything out perfectly, you are certainly welcome to do that, but I am not going to. But I'm going to do this so that I can go across, and I kind of lined it up here, the bottoms of the pockets on one line on my grid. Get this out of here. So lots of things you can do with this too. You don't have to just leave it painted. You could certainly such a big decision. I'm doing the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm trying to put the bottom of this pocket. Now, sewing is not straight. So that's going to throw off a little bit, I think. And blue tape, has a stretch to it, so that's going to also affect it a little bit. But we're going to kind of go with that. Good thing I have lots of blue tape in here. We also have some transfer tape that would work nicely for it. All right. Oops. I want to make sure I didn't go. I did. I got it back on the back again. Isn't that crazy? Getting the red might have been my undoing. Whenever I do red on white, I always make such a mess. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like self-fulfilled prophecy. I kind of think it is. And I do want to start on the left side for myself because I want it to be lined up. Let me try to get this over here a little bit more so you can see. I did want it to start from left to right because then I tend not to put my fingers as much into the product, into the messy mess of it. So we're going to start here, and you see I am just lining up pretty closely, a little bit above, and then side to side we're kind of looking. This is a lot of eyeballing, I'm not going to lie. But you can see through our transfers, which makes it nice. You can see, let me see. And I can't see the top of the pocket either because I've got this. Does that look like about? This is probably not for the weak at heart crafter. This is a little bit more intense crafting, I would say. So if you have littles around while you're doing this, maybe not the best project to do, but I always think doing crafts is definitely therapeutic. Oh my goodness. Did you see what I just did? I like splooched it thankfully it like, I splooched a big, all over actually. It went up here on my mat, just outside of it, and it went down here on my little calling bird. It's kind of cute because these have like, kind of like a, like, what in the world? I think we're losing a tree outside. Fell on me. The wind is pretty tough out there. All right. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I totally missed. I missed everything with that. You're here to witness it. So this, I could tell you, oh shoot. I do want to get this off the mat though, because I don't want it to spill. This project is going to take me a few times. So you're going to see me back. Probably I'll go over on Facebook as well and do a little bit in my Prairie Scraps Chuckin' over there. Prairie Scraps Facebook page. I totally shifted this whole entire thing now. Alrighty, here we go. And what I might have to do to get this done is, like, in a more timely manner, is instead of going 1, 2, 3, I might have to like count it out and like do the next layer down so that I can mask it off. All right. The other trick with the paper, sometimes when you use the paper, it does lift it up. So you want to make sure that your paper is not holding it up too. And we don't want to push where there's red. Let me get out another wipe because I definitely probably have red streaks across my face at this point. You know, try to get all in on the crafting projects. You know, that makes it more therapeutic. The more paint you get on you, the better. I'm trying to convince you of this. That really, I'm not a hot mess, really. What I was trying to do was gather up, because I could see lots of ink here all over. I'm kind of down to the end of this dish here. This was a gray color. I think it came out like maybe around February, you know, because it was called Love Struck. Maybe January last year. I don't even know. But it's kind of a deeper red than what we usually have. Like candy apple would work as well. But I think forest would be the color. You can also mix your inks if you wanted a deeper color. Mix in a little. I think I'm gonna do the gold first because the red is causing me problems. So I'm gonna do gold on the lettering down here and the 1, I think. That's what I want to do. You could do this however you want. That's the fun of it, is that you can totally, I need to, this is kind of soupy. I don't know why it's so soupy. And it's got some big pieces. Maybe I added water trying to get it. It was possibly dried out a little bit. So I added water before I closed it up. And now it feels really soupy. So unfortunately, ink, if it gets too soupy, it will sneak under. Kind of cause a mess. So if you find your ink is too soupy, then just leave it open. Let it dry in the air. It's just not going to dry very much here today because it's so cold. I think it was like down to 30 last night, and it said the weather forecast today said that we were going to be a high of 46. So that's kind of chilly. Thankfully, we don't have any snow on the ground. That would make it worse. Okay. Partridge. We'll see how this goes. I think we're just gonna... I do have to say, I really like the thought of doing a picture with this. I think you can also purchase extras of these, because I do have to say that it's going to take a certain, like, you're not going to be able to find this pocket hanger at Dollar Tree. This is not going to be a thing, but you could do this whole thing for a Christmas holiday picture. Be very beautiful on a 12 by 18 surface. I'm going to take my own advice and leave that open a little bit. Let's see if we can get it dried up. And then this, see if we can get this partridge in a pear tree all red. I love like kind of the monotone red. It kind of reminds me of, you know, the Scandinavian look. I love that look. And I'm taking it slow and coming from the outside towards the center and trying not to have to rub too many times on it. Because sometimes when you rub multiple times, it just slips underneath that transfer and makes those little bleeds happen. And of course, you know, red is going to be more prone to leaking. And I think this bottom section might have just a tad bit of the gold mixed in because it's just along the edge and I'm not doing a super clean job of it. Okay. I think that's good. Unfortunately, this isn't like you can put it down in the pockets and have a nice clean product just by laying the whole thing down all at once. It's not a one and done this time. So you got to kind of be patient with this project because it's going to take multiple washings. So I'm just going to peel this up. Take a look. Oh my goodness. I love it. Now, pear tree, the gold did kind of leak under, but I think we're going to, it's okay. It's good to go. You know what it says, right? Oh, it is there. The partridge in a pear tree. And actually this, I'm going to, oh, did I move it? I was going to try to, nope, I moved it. I was going to try to lay it down because it's not very strong on one side. Okay. So what I was kind of saying was now I might do the 4 because that's on the next row and I can put this up here. Well, like 4. Calling Birds has got little musical notes by it. Let me show you that one first. Let's set this aside. I don't know how much red we got on the back. I think that 12 Days of Christmas is finally drying. The other thing you could do is maybe wait on that. I don't know. Depending on how you do it. There's probably a very scientific way to do this. Let me show you this one up close. It's a little sideways. I'm sorry about that, but so you can see the detail. You can see that partridge in a pear tree, not the greatest centering. So this is 1, 2, 3. This will be number 4. So that's what I was thinking, was that I could go just move down this instead of trying, you know, because you can see like when I put that down on there, it's going to cause it to be red. So I want to mask it off by having the backing underneath it. So that's why I'm sort of putting the backing, you know, the place where I've painted, if that makes sense. I'm hoping this is making sense to you, but maybe when you do it, you'll see that what I'm talking about. But I don't want to have the part that I already inked laying on the white pockets. So I'm just going to double check again. 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th pocket. So, and I'm lining it up a little above that blue tape. I'm going side by side, just trying to get it. Because you see how, like, if I were to lay this on here, this ink, I guess you don't see. Sorry. I'm a little off. I'm a little off today. And I'm doing this a lot by sight. This is definitely getting done by sight. All right, let's get our inks out of here. I've got my gold wide open because I want it to dry up for me. Get a little drier. Oh, shoot. And that, because it's sticking in other places, it keeps pulling off on me. So I'm going to line it up. So this is definitely like a long-term project. Don't think this is like one of those 30-minute ones. And so I apologize for that. I got to watch my time because I do have to, we have to homeschool today. I'll move this over a little bit. I also think that, you know, like a lot of people, the people that I run into that say they don't like to craft are ones that like everything to be perfect. And this is going to definitely be one of those projects where you're going to have to be, it's a little bit of, you know, imperfection. That's really what's going to make this project beautiful. And so some other things you could do is hang some like cute ribbons on it at the top, or, you know, string some cute ribbons on it. I'm just going to take this here and we're going to do the 4. I do like the gold. I'm glad I went with it. The gold does border on a little bit of a brownish color, if you ask me. So I think that's pretty good. And then we're going to, oh, you know what? I think it's probably only going to go through 1 layer anyway. So I don't have that ink mat underneath here at all. For calling birds. I used to, as a kid, I don't know about you guys, do you love the 12 Days of Christmas song? I loved this song when I was a kid. I always wanted to play it on piano. And now as a piano teacher, I had one student play it for a recital, and I tried to talk her out of it because I'm like, you have to like, it has lots of repeats to get the 12 calling, 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords to do that. You just repeat, and you have to be really counting that out. If you're not counting, you end up in the wrong number and don't get the verse right. And so I was like, you have to, like, in a recital situation, it's like the most like stressful situation you could put yourself in to play the piano, in my opinion. So when you get stressed, it's hard to like count out how many times you've done the verse, right? Because the last time you have to do it, you do it over and over and over. So you end up doing it, I think, a total of like 23 times total, because you each time, so like the 11th time you do 11, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7. So you have to be like counting every single verse you do, and it's hard to pay attention when you have other things going on in your head, like hello, there's people watching me try to count. So anyway, she was like really insistent, and she was older, so I was like, she was like, you know, I don't know if she was in high school or very close. I think she was maybe like a freshman in high school. I was like, because I want people to do what they want to do too at the recital. I don't want it to be like torturous, but like it might be torture to yourself because you are choosing something that is difficult. And so I will never forget her recital. And I remember thinking, I think, you know, nobody else would know, but I knew that that was going to be the issue. And her parents knew because they're musicians as well. So it was kind of the comical part of, sort of the comical part of it. I'm going to hold this here because if I need to put it back, oh, my musical notes turned out beautiful. I have to say the gold is sort of spreading out a little bit. You can see it. It's very light, but, all right, let's get this, making sure, oops, don't put it on the fresh red. I definitely have a way with getting red everywhere. Red everywhere. Oops. Now, the reason I went down that way is so that I can mask it, right? And that top portion might be pretty masked. Let me show you this because I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm probably going to have to stop here. This is going to be a multi-day project for sure for me. I will get out more Love Struck because I've still got plenty in there. I probably can make this whole entire project without having another jar of Love Struck out here. But I feel like I'm going to need some. Set these on there. Get this wiped off. I usually just wipe off the tools because, you know, it's not very hard to get that clean. And then I will hold this up for you to see. I so appreciate you being here on my channel. I have all the information down below. This bundle is 25% off. And don't be afraid of it. If it's something you really love and want to do, just take your time and know that, you know, it's okay. It may not be the most perfectly done, but it's kind of like it's supposed to look vintage. I think this would look amazing all in brown or all in gold. Although the gold doesn't show up great, I think, in ink. Maybe the chalk would be better. I'm like, what do I need? But I need more wipes. So, but I appreciate you all for being here. I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell on there so that you know when I do go live. I will be back on Thursday for sure. Probably sometime during this week. I'll be coming back in. Watch, if you're not already in my group on Facebook, it's Prairie Scraps is my business page. Prairie Scraps Chalking is my VIP page. All right, let me get this around so you can see it. There's the 4. Isn't that nice? So patience is probably the virtue here, but, you know, so worth it. This is something that is an heirloom quality thing, especially when it's inked like this, because I'll have this forever. I did order an extra one because I'm thinking about doing another one, so I might do one in a different color. I really think this would look beautiful in that forest because it's got shimmer in it. But anyway, isn't that pretty? I love this. This is going to be such a fun thing. And like I said, if you're grandma, this will be a fun project you can make for your grandkids. And you could even put Bible verse in each day so the kids can like learn a Bible verse and get going into Christmas. And then the final day, oh, he is risen or whatever. Or no, not he is risen, but he was born, you know, right? Like there's plenty of like options out there. You could totally Google out, you know, 12 days of Bible verses to do for the 12 days of Christmas, and they would be available. But I so appreciate you all. Make sure you do all the things. I am a private business owner, so if you could use any of those links, I do have my finished goods listed online as well as some bundles. So go ahead and shop prairiescraps.com as well. And I hope you have a very blessed week and make sure you keep on crafting.